himself and the princess and the chest, and tugged at the rope with all his might, whereupon his men drew them up safe and sound. As soon as Minnikin had got safely on his ship again, he said, "Now go over salt water and fresh water, over hill and dale, and do not stop until thou comest unto the King's palace." And in a moment the ship went off so fast that the yellow foam rose up all round about it. When those who were in the King's palace saw the ship, they lost no time in going to meet him with song and music, and thus they marched up towards Minnikin with great rejoicings. But the gladdest of all was the King, for now he had got his other daughter back again. But now Minnikin was not happy, for both the princesses wanted to have him, and he wanted to have none other than the one whom he had first saved, and she was the younger. For this cause he was continually walking backwards and forwards, thinking how he could contrive to get her, and yet do nothing that was unkind to her sister. One day when he was walking about and thinking of this, it came into his mind that if he only had his brother King Pippin with him, who was so like himself that no one could distinguish the one from the other, he could let him have the elder princess and half the kingdom. As for himself, he thought, the other half was quite enough. And soon as this thought occurred to him, he went outside the palace and called for King Pippin, but no one came. So he called a second time, and a little louder, but still no one came. So Minnikin called for the third time, and with all his might, and there stood his brother by his side. "I had told you you were not to call me unless you were in the utmost need," he said to Minnikin, "and there is not even so much as a midge here who can do you any harm." And with that he gave Minnikin such a blow that he rolled over in the grass. "Shame on you to strike me," said Minnikin. "First I have won one princess and half the kingdom, and then the other princess and the other half of the kingdom, and now, when I was just thinking that I would give you one of the princesses and one of the halves of the kingdom, do you think you have any reason to give me such a blow?" When King Pippin heard that, he begged his brother's pardon, and they were reconciled at once and became good friends. "Now, as you know," said Minnikin, "we are so like each other that no one can tell us from the other. So just change clothes with me and go up to the palace, and then the princesses will think that I am coming in, and the one who kisses you first shall be yours, and I will have the other." For he knew that the elder princess was the stronger, and he could very well guess how things would go. King Pippin at once agreed to this. He changed clothes with his brother and went into the palace. When he entered the princesses' apartments, they believed that he was Minnikin, and both of them ran up to him at once, but the elder, who was bigger and stronger, pushed her sister aside and threw her arms around King Pippin's neck and kissed him. So he got her to wife, and Minnikin the younger sister. It will be easy to understand that 2 weddings took place, and they were so magnificent that they were heard of and talked about all over 7 kingdoms. End of 31. Recording by Alana Jordan in St. Louis, Missouri.